Hi, this is Boris. So for this tutorial on hair, I always use whatever I can tools to sort of help you visualize hair, right? So I just wanted to use this figurine to sort of establish the first one of the basics for when that you need to keep in mind when drawing hair. Like in this case, of course, it's in like sort of plasticky material, but like the way that the hair takes the form of the skull under it, that's one of the important things. Like for example, even here with my table lamp, hitting that hair area, so that will be the highlight, right? So, and of course, the highlight is like if you look at it, that the edges are really sharp because it's like the surface is very smooth, which will not be the case when you're drawing actual hair, right? Because the shadow will, or the highlight will be separated into strands of hair. Same thing for shadows. The other thing that for the hair itself, you need to keep in mind like more of like a feeling of ribbon. So I just thought that this figurine illustrated that really well. So so for example, here we see that twist here. So so when you're drawing, try to imagine this, right? Like instead of like a instead of just imagining like a flat paper, like just imagine like a more of a like a cloth or like a thick ribbon that is sort of going around. Of course, this changes according to the type of hair, but generally, this is the type of sort of, how can I say, physics or the type of forms that you will see when drawing hair. Now, let's get to the tutorial. So when you're drawing hair, again, in 3 different steps. So first you need to approach it with the outline, which means I'm going to trace the most important things, the important curves, the important lines that I see. So we're going to focus on this side of the hair, and I'm not going to draw the face because we are here to draw hair. So you can check out my other video for how to draw faces. So pay particular attention here. So I'm breaking the edges so that to give that again that organic feel to it. So like I said, keep in mind like in terms of the form that you are trying to create is like more like ribbon and cloth than something more plasticky or something stiff, right? So it needs to feel a little bit flowy, if that's the word. So now that so again, I'm doing this in different colors, so that in different layers, so that I can clearly show you the 3 steps on how to draw hair. So first I start with the outline, which is the big shapes that I see for the hair, okay? And so I'm doing, of course, I'm doing this in blue. And you can mix up the steps. You can start however you want, but I always try to go from the outside to the inside. So establish the big shapes and then go into the details, rather than the other way around. Now the second one, which I'm going to draw in red, is going to be how to spot shadows. So I'm going to do this in red. And by the way, just a quick note on the pictures. So I'm just showing here like what shadows I see, like the shapes that I see there that I'm going to bring to my canvas. So I was just going to say the pictures that I'm using here can be found in how to draw references, my Pinterest wall, and the link to that Pinterest wall is in the description of each video that I do, so that you can also have the same pictures if you want to practice them on your own. Okay. And as always, these videos are based on online workshops I do for free every Sunday at 2 p.m. Bangkok, Thailand time.
So there is also a link to the meetup group Bangkok Geeks in the description of this video. So yeah, I'm just bringing that to the canvas, and in the beginning it will look messy because I'm trying to show these in different steps, so I'm using different colors and different layers on the software that I'm using, which is, by the way, Eclipse Studio Paint, which is usually the software I use for these tutorials and illustrations. But of course you're going to use pencil or pen or whatever material you're using. You're going to draw everything in one layer, basically, on one paper, in one color. Next one is I'll break the shadows, because again, this is not something plastic, right? So the edges of the shadows are not going to be clean. They're going to be like dispersed, or like they're going to be like separated and into strands of hair. So that's what we are trying to do here. And of course the deepest level of the crevices, or the areas where the light doesn't go, of course it's darker, as opposed to the areas which are more exposed to the light, which will be brighter. And again, I try to sort of follow that form. Okay, so, and even just drawing the outline is just a flat shape, but then when I draw those shadows in that form, it gives that 3D, that like 3D dimension, that again, that 3D form that we are trying to create. So now that I use like different colors, what I'll do is I will combine all those layers. So here I'm just showing again outline, spot shadows, and then break shadows. Okay, these are the three different steps that I see. When you're drawing the outline, keep in mind the root and the direction of the lines, and of course like make the edges more organic, so break the edges whenever you have to. And here I'm going to combine all the layers so that it can make sense, because now it's very messy and it's not clear. And I used a pen brush instead of a pencil, just to make it more pop on the screen. So there you have it. I'm going to just put on speed paint, like speed drawing on time lapse for the next references. Just to show you how I would approach the other types of hair. So I'm going to break here, and then I'll let you watch, and then I'll come at the end to comment, or I'll comment on it. So now let's look at some different types of hair. And so this is like sped up to ×2. This is not the actual speed I draw. But here, for example, again, I draw the outline, and of course I'm going to break that up, because otherwise it will look like he's wearing like a sort of a hat or a helmet. And even if the edges are, it looks like a fresh haircut. So just giving those little things at the breaking those edges gives that more organic look and just pushes the illusion of hair. And this is the next one. So again, like I said, you can mix up the steps, the 3 steps that I talked about: outline, spot the shadows, and break the shadows. You can combine, of course, as you practice more and more, you'll find your own way of drawing, and of course you can also combine the last 2 steps, which is you can sort of already draw the shadows already broken into strands of hair. And again, don't forget the form of the skull, and don't forget, in terms of the direction of the hair, the root, where it comes from. So this picture is a little bit difficult because it's coarse hair, and I think I need to, again, this is also where I find my own flaws when it comes to like drawing. And so here, for example, if I'm trying to draw, especially with like pen, in this case, like I have only values to work with. I don't have color or like, you know. So what I did was like just put in like simple values and then sort of do marks, which I can't really explain. It's sort of semicircles, like back and forth, like sort of create that coarse hair feel. And so I'm imagining it as a ball, but instead of a smooth surface, of course, it's like a bun of hair, right? So when the shadows fall, they take the shape of the hair. So that's what I was trying to go for. And in the beginning, I think I should have broken the edges a little bit more, but here I still tried to break the edges a bit. But looking at it alone, I think it kills the illusion. But like if I would have drawn it on the person's head, and if I've drawn the face, it would have a little bit made it more believable. But again, this video I just wanted to give you a quick 3-step video on how to draw hair, not on how to draw faces. So again, thank you for watching. So this is Boris for Sketchman Draws. Please like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on my Instagram, and you can check out my website, and of course please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.